When the powder cleared that April morning in Lexington, and the British soldiers moved on to Concord, where another battle ensued, eventually driving them back down the road towards Lexington. The British had drawn blood, and they had attacked the civilianry. And the militias gathered, and they were hiding in the trees and lining the roads, and they started firing and killing the British soldiers. It's important to understand that these civilians, these militiamen, they were still British subjects. This wasn't the United States of America. These were people rising up against a government who would defy the principles of human rights and the rule of natural law. And they said, God help us, we have to step up and defend our families. They didn't shoot first. They didn't have a principle of, well, let's pick a fight, let's go to war. Because bloody revolt and killing is the last resort of principled men. It was for them, and it should be for us today. But friends, it's with a heavy heart that I look on the state of what once was the United States of America. With more patriots being arrested every day as dissidents, it's becoming more and more clear that our government is doing one of two things, and likely both. They're telling the civilianry of America that they will comply, that this is a police state, and those who are dissenters and stand up will be punished. At the same time, they are pushing and pushing and pushing. I think it's fair to say that they're trying to push the patriots to violent action so that they can crush them and quelch the idea of standing up, quelch those who speak out and those who rise for liberty, so that once and for all, this can become a police state. It's with a heavy heart that I inform you, and I want you to understand that our government is in a state of treason against our Constitution, against moral law, God's law, and these states. And it's with a equally heavy heart that I say that most of our local officials and sheriffs are fully complicit in this. This is not the America that you grew up in. This is no longer a nation of liberty. The government has declared war now on this people, and they are attacking us with increased aggressiveness. The blood will continue to spill, the arrests will continue to be made. Now it falls to us. It's time to stop the pettiness. It's time to stop worrying about things like presidential debates. The government is gone, friends. The United States government has completely turned against the people. And any candidate who is not fully standing up against that is really not standing with our Constitution or with this people. As we see more of the Bundys and other patriots who are at Bundy Ranch in Oregon being arrested and hauled away. As we saw Lavoy Finicum murdered in cold blood, assassinated. As they come for people like you and like me, we have to be realistic. This is no longer the United States of America. Our Constitution is not recognized as law. And we fall back to the state that was spoken of in 1776, where we have a government who has completely ignored law and justice and due process. A government where it is the right and the duty of the people to cast them off and to secure liberty for future generations. And we need to ask ourselves very carefully, what will we do? What can we do? This is not a call to violence. It's a call to stand principled and ready. It's a call for the people who value liberty, who love their neighbor as themselves, who love God, who love justice. It's a call for them to set aside distractions and to appeal mightily to heaven, to search our souls, search the scriptures, search our consciences for what to do, But it's also a time to begin running interference against this treasonous government. To do whatever is principled and right. To tie up the gears and break down the machine of tyranny. The time has come to stand. I refuse to be idle and leave my children living in a nation like the one I live in right now, where every vehicle that pulls in may be a federal agent, and every officer may be putting a gun to my head. Friends, our government and those complicit with its treason have made its choice. Our politicians who refuse to stand with us have made their choice. God help them. Their hearts may be opened and they may repent and join with liberty. But any of our public officials who will not stand against the treason from this government must be regarded as complicit in this war on the people, as one by one they take patriots, prisoners of war, and lock them away in cages under the false pretense of due process. I will not sit still. I will not be quiet. I will not make pretense. I will not ignore what has happened to this nation. It is with a grave, heavy heart that I say these things. We've done this to this nation. Our apathy and our sin and our cowardice has brought us to this. This is not a sinking ship. This is a sunken ship. But together we can stand. Friends, we can stand. We can rise up. We can seek justice. We can seek God. We can seek our consciences. We can appeal to heaven. And we can start rising against this government. Wherever you are, get together with your neighbors who are principled. Watch your back. Pay attention to what's happening around you. Be prepared. So that we can rise and God help us, that we can restore liberty for our children. This is the time we hoped would never come. But it is here. We should be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We should never fire the first shot. We should not be rash to action. We should be principled, peaceful, merciful, forgiving, and bold.